Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, Alchemy of Code, where we dive deep into the world of app development. So I'm Selvarajan, your host, and today we have something really exciting session. We are going to talk about Jetpack Compose. It's a modern framework for building a beautiful UI for Android. Whether you are a beginner or experienced developer, so you'll have a great introduction to this framework today. To guide us through this session, I have with me my friend and an amazing developer, Arun. So Arun has extensive experience in Java development, and he has been exploring Jetpack Compose and with Kotlin in depth. So he is here to share his knowledge with us all. So just grab your headphone and sit back and enjoy this conversation. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel because we are going to have a series of such podcast on Jetpack Compose. So stay tuned. Without further ado, Arun, let's get started. Over to you, Arun.
Okay, thank you, Selva. So I'll get right into the topic. So we are going to learn a bit of Android programming, as Selva has told, and we are going to focus on Jetpack Compose mainly, and we are also going to focus on view model concept and how we can easily take advantage of what Android programming provides and build a simple application. The end product will be like uh, from a repository, we will retrieve a list of pets, all right, which will have a name and whether it's a cat or a dog, something like that, and we will have a list as an app to uh, display it. All right. So what and all things are happening in the backend, we are going to see it in practicals. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll share my screen.
Sure.
Okay. So I have selected an empty project, empty activity project. I'll just call it pet project. All right. And there is nothing else you have to do or change anything over here. And you can just say finish.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately you will have an Android Studio, which will provide you with all necessary files, as in the basic templates, everything is
Okay.
going to be generated for you. Here the
Mm-hmm.
Gradle build is building, so it will download the uh, required libraries and all, and provide you uh, with a basic program, boilerplate code, using which we can further modify and uh, see how we are going to go about. So it doesn't take a lot of time. Uh, while this thing is going on, we can obviously talk about the relevant files, like the main files that are not source code are these Gradle build Gradle KTS files. In these things, you will have there is one project level and one app level. All right. You will find a few things which we are going to change, like the min SDK is 24. It basically means Android Lollipop. Below that, it won't support. It's a very old Android OS. But the compile SDK, target SDK is 34, which means it will support to the latest and even beyond that. All right.
All
So
right.
depending on the Gradle plugin you're using, you might have to increase the compile SDK or target untarget SDK, because Gradle will the new Gradle versions will be dependent on features that are available in the newer Android OS. So that's why we will be going for 35 because we'll be using the Gradle 8 and further. So, but otherwise it will run. The older Android phones it will run because Min SDK is 25 only, 24 only.
Okay.
Similarly, you can see that the JVM target is 1.8. All right.
Where's
So this is Kotlin option, but
okay.
similarly you will see that JVM also is a little old. It will be using. So we
Hmm.
want to change that to use JDK later one, like 17 or something. Why?
Hmm.
Because we Android now supports the newer features which you want to take advantage. So we need to use a different JDK, the higher JDK that you can do it uh, through here.
Hmm.
You can say Java 17. Otherwise, while compiling, it will throw some issues and all. That's why I'm making those changes here.
Okay. So the Kotlin will be included within this JVM SDK itself, right?
So,
The Kotlin
yeah,
related development.
yeah. Here, if you see, I have to manually change this here.
Okay.
That is compiler. Which
Oh,
compiler you want to use? So the 1.8 is like long
old.
time ago, right?
Hmm.
So now we can use 21 or 17, something like that, which is
Hmm.
the LTS. Kotlin basically is a programming language that runs on top of JDK only.
Okay.
So it's JDK, that's why it's JVM, Java Virtual Machine.
Hmm.
So that's how Kotlin users takes advantage of Java Virtual Machines, garbage collection, and so many other things, memory management and all. So
Okay.
Kotlin is that's how Kotlin works.
Hmm.
So how you can see these are like default imported from Gradle, right? So all these are already inbuilt. We will be including coin view models dependencies soon. We will see how to include them here. All right. So
Okay.
this is one of the main files which we need to be careful and have it correctly set up. All right. So now we'll go to the programming side. All right.
So there is a red line at 13
Yeah,
says some error.
it looks like just edited. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like I know what I'm doing. So
Okay.
alright. So I'll
Okay.
go for that. It's saying like you should do change it through the UI or something like that.
Okay.
So it while compiling it will give a warning something. That's why I
Hmm.
changed it to 35.
Okay.
35 is Android 14, right?
14.
Now Android
Hmm.
15 also is released. So okay. So okay. So so what are we going to do here is we are going to create some packages here. Pet. That's what we are going to develop. A list of pet names and what kind of pet it is, dog, cat, something like that. So we are
Hmm.
going to have a Pojo class, right? So we'll be
Okay.
learning a bit of understanding a bit of Kotlin, whichever is relevant syntax over here. And
Hmm.
then we'll have a repository class which will fetch the list of pets, right? We need
Okay.
like like 10, 20 pet names and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And then we will have something known as view model package, which will have the view model, and I'll explain you what view model is. And then
Okay.
we'll have a view, how it looks, how it should look, right?
Okay.
So those things, and then we'll have the main
We
activity
will
through
go
which we
with
are
the
going to wire
MVVM.
everything.
Okay. Basically, we'll
Yeah,
go with the MVVM.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. A model view model. That's exactly.
Okay.
So we'll see how things are. In earlier development, we used to work on XML, and you need to do uh, get view by ID, find view by ID, and all those things. In this,
Hmm.
there is nothing. Everything is programmatic, so you get more flexibility and more hold over it, and it's more fun to program also.
Okay.
So I'm going to create a package.
Hmm.
I'll call it data. Okay. In this data, I'm going to have a class pet. Okay. In fact, it is a data class. So what is a class and what is a data class? Data class is something, a POJO in Java, you have to write getter and setter manually, or you have to use some other library like Lombok and it will handle it for you.
Okay.
Kotlin provides you a separate class like data class, and it is having getter center inbuilt, and also few more copy function and hash code. All those are already cloned, all are implemented for you, so you don't have to type a lot. Only here what you need to do is just mention the variable name. Now this syntax also a little strange.
Okay.
If you see, I'm after a class, it is I'm passed as a function, like a function. It looks like a function, but it's not a function. It's actually, well, it is a function. It is a constructor. It is a shorthand. If you,
Sorry to stop. Can
yeah,
you increase the font size of that editor?
yes,
Little bit small font.
okay,
Maybe you can increase the font size.
yeah. 1 minute. I'll try to increase the resolution.
Resolution is fine. Maybe that particular
Font, okay,
editor area itself, if you can just increase the font size,
okay.
maybe Control plus or something, Control Shift plus. Uh, Does it work?
I'm not
Would it
sure.
work? Okay. That's I'm not sure.
So that's
It should be somewhere in the settings editor somewhere at the top. Yeah, go to settings and see if there is anything that can change.
top lines, join lines, column selection.
File settings, file
File
settings.
setting.
Yeah,
Okay.
you go there. There'll be some font editor. Editor is there, right? Under
Yeah.
editor, general appearance. Uh, yeah. Let's check if we have anything there.
And it is
Editor
there.
tab. Yeah, font is there.
Size is there.
Size is there. Yes.
As well like
Just change it to 16 or 20 is
16.
big. Okay.
I
Uh,
don't know.
yeah,
30.
just 16 and see. Hey, 30 means too big.
Sorry, 16. 16.
Let's okay. Apply. Just apply it and see.
Is this
Oh,
okay? Or you want it bigger?
did it? I didn't. I don't think it increased.
It
Right?
increased. It
It
increased. It
increased,
increased.
huh? Then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think at 25 you can put.
Apply, yeah.
Yeah, that's much
Okay.
better, man.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
okay.
Yeah.
So, you have name, you have species, that will be a string. So,
Okay.
and then we'll have a val ID, which will be a hint. So you can val ID equal to hint, and that's it. So you can see that this is a constructor. Okay. So if you want to instantiate a pet object,
Mm-hmm.
pass three parameters: name, species, sorry, name, species, and ID. And val is basically there are like uh, two ways to declare a variable: val or var. Okay, val is read only. Var is you can modify. All right.
Val
Yeah,
and val. Okay.
val and var. Okay, and both the data type is not given. Like in Java, you have string name. It's not like that. Val
Mm.
name, and you provide the data type at the right hand corner after this thing.
Okay.
Colon. All right. So this is our data class. That's it.
Mhm.
All you don't have to do write a constructor or anything. Okay.
Okay.
Now we will create interface.
Okay.
Interface. Name of the interface will be pet repository.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So interface means it will have one method, right?
Mhm.
Fun get pet pets, and it will be returning you a list of pet. Sorry, I have to give. This is what the interface looks like, right?
Okay.
It is having one method,
Particular question.
getPets. Okay.
Yeah.
Now we will create a implementation of this.
Pet repository.
Yes. Pet repository. IMP. All right. Now, how do you implement? You just have to mention it like this,
Yep.
and you can like implement members.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And here we'll just provide some random.
Mm-hmm. I can see the Kotlin is more or less similar to Swift language.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have
When I saw your code, I was like, "Arey, it is like Kotlin." When you're seeing my code, you're like, "It's like Swift."
yeah,
So,
it's good at least yeah we have similarities.
so you can
It's
see
a
here.
mix of
Yeah,
Java
yeah,
and Swift.
yeah. So a
Okay.
lot of squiggly lines because
Mm.
I messed up with the order,
Okay.
right? So I'll just silently push this ahead.
Sure.
Otherwise, I have to give named parameters and stuff.
Okay.
Unnecessarily more code I have to
Yeah.
give.
Yeah.
So now it's all are happy. Okay. Or
Okay.
actually you can jumble also, but you need to provide like ID equal to like that you can do it. Right,
Okay.
then I don't have to do that for everything. So
Okay.
we'll be using those heavily named parameters, right?
Sure.
So now our data no package is all fine.
Yeah.
So so what we are going to do is we are going to use something known as view model. Okay. So
Okay.
what is a view model? First of all, what is the use case of a view model? In
Mm.
terms of with respect to Android programming,
Mm.
they decided something like this. Early development. You have your phone, okay, and you're entering some data and everything you're doing here. It's displaying some data, and then you change the orientation. So what
Mm.
they wanted to do was when you're changing the orientation, the view will get destroyed and then recalculate everything else, and then it will display back to the new orientation, right?
Okay.
So
Mm.
so we need to destroy the view and recreate it based on new configurations. So what was happening with that is whatever data is displayed, that also is forgotten.
Forgot it. Okay.
Yeah, because as long as it is in the memory, it's in the life cycle of the view. Then once it gets destroyed, data also gets destroyed. So for to circumvent that, they had something known as bundle object. It is a hash map, and you need to store it over there. And then when you're reinitializing, automatically when it happens, it will read from the bundle object and populate it in the respective components.
Okay. We have to
So
manually or it will happen.
manually. Okay,
Oh.
so that is not very practical for larger data. It's very small, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are like different ways to do this. So that's where view model comes into picture. So
Mm.
view model is going to take care of your data, which is external to your view.
Okay.
So whatever happens with view, destroy, recreate, whatever it is, the view model will always
Mm.
retain the data,
Maintain
and
the
the
data.
view will read from the view model.
Mm. Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
so now there are quite a few things going on here. Uh, we need to configure the view model. That's what we are going to do. All right.
Okay.
It is
Mm.
not going to be part of the compose. Okay, part of the view. Okay,
Mm.
every view individually is a compose object. Okay, compose
Okay.
function. It's known as composable. So
Compose.
if you every data is inside that compose function, when you change the orientation, it will forget the data, right?
Okay.
So
Right.
you need to get the data from the view model, right?
Mm. Mm.
So
Okay.
we are going to use something known as coin view model. All right. Coin
Okay.
view model is a library which helps us easily integrate view model in our project.
Mm.
We can do everything by ourselves using vanilla Android, but you need to go through a lot of hassle. So
Okay.
coin view model helps you with that. So first we create a package again.
Mm.
We call it view model. We might depending on the project, we may have many view models, but here one is sufficient. We call it pet view model. Okay. So if you see, it has nothing special. All it will have is fun get pet list.
Okay.
Okay. This is the function which will return something. Okay. It will return what? The list of pets, right? Which means this view model will expect a pet repository object to be configured with. Okay.
Okay. So it has a dependency.
Yeah, it has a dependency because from where it will get the list. Repository is only having, right? Yeah. So pet repository dot get pets. Make it private, sure. That's it. So in order to make it a view model, all you need to do is inherit from view model.
Okay.
Like this.
Oh.
That's it. As far as view model is concerned, only this is the extra code that you need to put. Otherwise, everything is like normal. All right. Okay. Again, this is Kotlin syntax. You can define the method of the body in one line if it is only one line. You don't need to create all that, right? So that's fine, but still I have not configured coin view model, right? For that, I'm going to create another package. Modules. I'm going to call this DI. Okay, it's a dependency injection framework. Coin is a dependency injection framework. What is a dependency injection framework is? As I told you, right? The composables, the function that is depending on data that is in the view model. How do you connect the view model to the composable function, the UI? Okay. That some magic happens. That magic is dependency injection. You're just going to call coin view model and automatically it will just inject and give you the object. You don't need to pass something or nothing. Whichever view is going to have some dependency on data that a view model is carrying, dependency injection will take care of it. You don't have to bother how to pass or anything. Okay. So for that magic to happen, we are going to have we are going to configure few things. A very minimal thing we have to configure. Okay. Understand, you in Kotlin you don't necessarily have to write functions inside a class, okay? If you don't want to. In Java you have to do everything. For a simple hello world you need to write so many things. In Kotlin is all lot of shortcuts are there. So I'm going to declare a method modules. Now equal to module. Now it doesn't know what this is. Okay, that's why this is where we are going to add something in the Gradle file, because I'm talking about coin view module here, and that is not part of Android, vanilla Android. We need to include it in our project. Okay. Okay. So three dependencies, you know, they're interdependent with each other for coin to function properly. Okay. So I copied and pasted it here. Obviously, if I do sync now, everything will work. But the, you know, what you say, the syntax is a little different here. This syntax has no version. Okay, it starts from libs, but this one is like having version and everything. So
Okay.
our Gradle will do that for us. Okay, we paste it like this because we need to tell what version and all.
Mm-hmm.
And it is telling you can use a newer version and all. So like, yes, sure, use a newer version.
Okay.
And then this will also say the same thing. This will also say the same thing. And then if you just highlight it, we can click on this intelligence which will convert it into the above format.
Okay.
So before I do that, I want to explain something which is known as libs version toml. TOML is basically name which is not really important, Tom's obvious minimal language. So you can see all the versioning are here.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't know.
So yeah, it's all handled here. If you want to change something, you can change directly from here.
Oh.
In this case, the versioning is here. I'm going to change it like this, but the versioning is handled at the TOML level.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you look here, see those things, those guys have appeared here. And the libraries also are like grouped, Android Xcore is having these, like that it kind of groups itself. All right. So then I will do sync now. Now it will do the downloading and everything.
Okay.
Coin libraries from, I think, Maven Central, right?
Yep.
Then where was I? I was here. Modules, it was giving some issues, right?
Yep.
It's a module. Okay. And I save it. And I import. Now I'm able to import. That's it. Coin DSL module, right?
Okay.
So obviously the dependency injection, for it to work, we need an object that is available in the memory, right? Right. Like in Spring also, whenever you say add component, it creates an object and keeps it in the repository. And we know in Spring we can create an object as singleton or prototype, right? Singleton is only one object will be available and it will be reused among whenever we call it. Prototype means new object will keep coming. We want singleton only because the pet list repository is transcendent. Only one instance we want. So how we do it is we say single and then we call it, tell what type of object, all right?
Yeah.
And we tell it, we instantiate it. Pet repository IMPL. So you can see in Kotlin there is no new pet repository IMPL. New is like chucked off. So yes. So if you write like this, it will create an object. Okay. This is how you create an object in any normal Kotlin class.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is this now in memory, it will have an instance of this object.
Okay. Singleton object.
Yes. Now understand we are going to use ViewModel to access this object, right? Pets repository.getPets. You can see the pet ViewModel is dependent on a pet view repository, correct?
Yeah.
So we are going to have a singleton of a ViewModel. Singleton of a ViewModel. So I'm saying single, all right? And I'm going to say I want a pet view model. Now this is having a dependency of a pet view repository. So I'm going to provide it what is there in the memory.
Oh, since we have created that in the previous line, so that will be taken into.
And it will know what to take. Get is get is agnostic, right? But by type it will match.
Okay.
That's how DI works, right? So you can have, if it is having two variables dependencies, you can say get comma get, and it will know based on type which one.
Type it will not
but when you look, you will be confused. It is going to give the same object. It's not like that. All right. So now we have we have pet view model as a
Singleton.
singleton available for us whenever we want to use.
Okay.
All right. Now uh, we are going to use, now comes the view part where we are going to define and make use of this. All right. So we'll create a view, we'll create a package, we'll call it view, and create a, sorry, not Java class, Kotlin class. We call it pet list view. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we actually don't need to create a class. We just need a, it's not required to create a class if we don't want to. We'll just create a composable function. Okay.
Okay.
This is a normal function, right?
Mm.
But to make it composable, right? Now, what is a composable? Okay. What is
Yeah.
the difference between normal and composable function? This is a normal function. If you want to make it a composable function, you just say it is a composable.
Okay.
That's that's the difference. The thing is, when you say it is composable, what happens is the Android, we are telling the Android Studio that this is going to contain view business logic. It is going to have view components like text,
Okay.
all those, right?
Why component?
Yeah, so it will become aware of any kind of changes when it wants to re-render.
Okay.
Like in React, right? If you have state objects, where whenever the state changes, everything that is connected to it re-renders, right? So like that, if you say it's a normal function, it has nothing to do with state objects, and it has nothing to do with view. But if you say it's a composable, then it registers as a special function, which will have this business logic for view. So we need to tell that. That's why only one annotation is sufficient. Here, we are going to do one thing, that is get the reference of view model, right? In this, what we are going to do is, this is the only view logic where we are going to write all the business logic for the list.
Okay.
Understand? Yeah. Okay. So here, what we will going to have? We are going to have a something that will be iterating through the list, and some sort of text box which will display the data, the dog and name of dog and species. That's the only thing this is going to have. Okay. For that, we need the reference, a hold of pet list. Right. First, we are going to get the view model, because inside that only we have the data. How to get the hold of view model? This is where things are like very, it's like magic. We just say coin view model, and pet view model import, right? Coin, it's not coin applications, coin view model. That's it.
That's it. It will automatically give you the opportunities in the memory.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That's how great this is. Okay. Right. Now we have the, if you do pet view model dot get pet list, we'll get the list. That's it. Okay. Right. Now, the next is, we are going to use a component known as lazy column. Okay. There are like different Jetpack Compose components: column, row, lazy column. What is special about lazy column is, we don't know how long the list is, right? In in Java, we use recycler view. All right. What it does is, there's a lot of plumbing in that. Okay, it's not at all straightforward to use that. And what it does is, whatever is the view, right? Only that data it will keep in memory. Other, it will just remove it as you scroll. Right. So it is efficient. But if you're going to use a normal list, Million record means
Yeah.
phone will shut down. So,
Correct.
so we have here something known as lazy column. Only when required it will show. It will do everything for us. All
Okay.
right, column. Okay. Now, what every component has something known as content. Okay. So what should be there inside it? Okay. And it also has something known as modifier.
Modify. Okay.
Okay. So you understand in Kotlin, this is not the body of lazy column. This is a last argument, which is a lambda. So I need to there is something known as lambda. Okay, what is a lambda? It is basically known as behavior parameterization. So earlier, when you pass values to a function, you have int, class, complex objects you can pass. In functional programming, even method body is first class citizens, which means a method body, you can pass it as an argument to a function. So you have more control over how you want to treat a certain, behavior. So you can pass the behavior as an argument, and you can like have more control over that. So in Kotlin, if you pass a behavior, it doesn't look good. Okay, a lot of curly braces and brackets and stuff. So what they did was, if the lambda function is the last argument, then you can pass it as like this. So it looks like a body, but it is not. It's of lazy column, but it is not. It is a final argument.
Final argument. Okay.
Final argument. Okay. So you can pass it like this. What about the earlier argument? How are you going to pass? So if you want to add more parameters, that is earlier to the last argument, which is a lambda, you can pass it as like this.
Okay.
Call the named parameter, and you pass it. Okay. So for example, pet list is going to accept a modifier. I'll explain you what a modifier is. All right.
So we have similar concept in Swift. It's called closer.
Closer. Okay.
Yeah.
So what a modifier is? Modifier is basically a decoration. Decoration. What is a decoration? Lazy column. Okay. How should the lazy column be designed? Or you want to control its width, its padding.
Okay.
And modifier is something like decoration and miscellaneous. It's not just decoration. It will have decoration, but it will also have some other features also, just like you add everything in one object and try to control over it. So when I say this, already lazy column will have default values for its width and everything, but you can override them by providing it a modifier. So who will provide? Whoever is going to call the pet list,
okay, they
will have control over how the lazy column should look like.
Okay.
Right. So I'm just setting it here. But even without this, it will work. That was my point. But what are you going to do inside a lazy column? That is the question.
Okay.
So lazy column is okay. The thing, the primary. Inside you're going to have items. Okay. So it's going to have items. Item. You can keep adding. If I do like this, it will have two items. Okay. Inside that you can have text box. But now we have this column. See, column is vertical. Okay, vertical stack.
Yeah.
Row is horizontal stack. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a reverse in database.
And how we use it
Yeah.
on
Yeah, I don't know why, but that's how it is.
Okay.
Now we're going to iterate through the list object. Okay, so in order to do that, there is a function known as items, and in that we are going to pass pet view model dot get pet list. Okay. Now this is also having last argument as a lambda. import function. Okay. Okay. So first argument is this. Second argument is how do you want to handle this object? Okay. So this is behavior parameterization. Lambda is the final argument. So two arguments I'm passing for this items. Okay. So now how I want to deal with this is I have in pet list will provide me access to three properties: ID, name, and species. I'm only interested in name and species. I want to list them against each other like this: name, species, name, species, name, species, right? So I want a row. Row is horizontal, all right? So every iteration will have one row, and here again let me see. So here again it will have modifier. Okay. Modifier equal to, now I will define some settings for it, how it should look. So how should it look? Okay, it should be like it should fill the entire width of the screen, mobile screen, and it should be equally spaced between, right? It should be like a little pleasant to look at, right? So so I'm saying fill max width. Okay, and I want some space around the text. So I'm just saying padding in all corners dot dp. Okay. And I want horizontal space arrangement as arrangement space between, so that between the two elements there are like equivalent space across all, right?
Right.
So these things, okay, these are like chemistry, okay? You have to by heart these things. There's no other go. There's no logical.
We can have some cheat sheet.
Yeah.
On our desktop.
Yeah. Nobody can come up with horizontal arrangement unless you know there is something like horizontal arrangement. Okay. Then now that is the decoration, okay? So modifier is a decoration. How the row should be like handled. Inside that, I have first text object. First text object will be having name, and the name will be extracted from our pet object. See, this is going to this is referencing the iterated pet object dot name. Okay. Now that is the first text. I'll put this composable, and then another text object. Now between the two text object, I'm calling it species. Right? And pet dot species. So between the two text, okay, space between will come into picture.
That will automatically be.
Yeah. If you add three elements, space between will come between the three elements. So we don't have to deal with all the DP and all. And padding is 10 DP, which is like, you know.
So that it won't stick to the edges.
Yeah. And also it is iterating. You want some space. So this is our pet list. So somebody has to use the pet list. Whoever uses the pet list, everything will work fine. So now pet list, we'll remove this unnecessary. Somewhere some issue is there. Okay, some import was missing. Now we are going to go for the main activity. Okay, so here what we are going to do is we see this coin view model. Okay, we have to start the, let's say, engine of coin view model so that it starts creating the instance and all. All right, so that starting we have to do at the beginning. Okay, so you can have wherever you want.
So
coin
this main
start.
activity is the main app thing. So
Yeah, main
that
activity is like
once
the public static void main.
okay, okay.
Okay, so if you see, those things are all there. If you want, you can use it or not use it, whatever we
Yeah.
develop. But whatever you put it in main activity, that is only is going to be visible to the program,
Mm.
right?
Yep.
So, so how do you start the coin, right? So it should know what to start, right? Start coin, and again, this is a lambda, right? It's
Mm.
not a body. Okay.
Yeah.
Modules, called app modules, right? This is it. Then
Okay.
as it reaches this point, it will generate all the required instances, dependencies, and everything. Okay.
Mm.
Now, if you see, there is something known as scaffold here. Okay. So scaffold is there is a material UI theme 3 in Android. It is
Mm-hmm.
like Bootstrap. Okay. It provides
Mm.
you with a lot of you know most
What?
use case components for you, so
Okay.
that immediately you can develop really quickly whatever you want using the existing provisioned by material theme, this thing.
Mm.
Scaffold is like that.
Okay.
So what is a scaffold? Scaffold is just if you want to develop a house,
Mm.
first they will create the foundation and it will have all the rooms and everything outlined. On
Okay.
top of that, you can like develop whatever you want. Like
Mm.
that, we can dictate to it what kind of foundation we want our app will require. For example, WhatsApp has a different scaffold. It has a list of users. There is a space where you can chat, right? So,
Mm.
but in our case, we just want it to have a title and
Okay.
we want a list. That's it.
Yes. Yep.
So
Yep.
we are, so only we may have a floating action button. We can have
Yep.
something like a navigation
Yep.
thing, lower navigation, a rail. All
Mm-hmm.
that is there in scaffold.
Okay.
What we want to
Yeah,
use, we are
I have
going to dictate.
similar scaffold thing in Flutter also. In Flutter also
Ah,
have this scaffold thing that creates the boilerplate
okay.
layout. Huh. So
Yes.
where you can just fit in our menu and the bottom thing, everything will have. So
Okay.
whichever we want, we can use it. So Flutter has the
Okay.
same thing.
Yeah. So that's exactly what got Jetpack Compose did. Okay. They saw Flutter and Swift and they
Okay.
probably observed it. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so so what we are going to do here is we are going to have first we are going to remove this. We don't need this. Okay, this is composable here. Okay, so just going to say hello something, whatever we
Okay.
pass it, right? Hello
Yeah.
Android. We are not interested in that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, it's probably saying it's not used or something. Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to have something like stop bar. Okay, these are all named parameters. I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to other bottom app bar all are there, but they are like nothing. Okay, so it
Okay.
won't be there. So
Mm-hmm.
top app bar, I'm passing a lambda. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so it accepts a lambda that I'm going to use top app bar. Again, all these are like chemistry formulas. You need to know. There is something known as top app bar,
Yeah.
for which accepts a title argument,
Mm-hmm.
and it will we can pass a lambda again to it, and it will have a text component, and in
Oh,
that text you can provide the what it wants to be called. It is known as specs,
that's okay.
and you can probably import top app bar. bar top app bar. Okay. Hold on. Opt-in. Ah, yeah. So I had to add that. Probably type it again. I think the issue is somewhere else.
Okay. That equals
That's
this there.
set
Okay.
content project team scaffold top bar. Think no value passed in content. Yeah. It's content. Okay.
So did it come inside the scaffold, the content?
Yeah.
Okay. Come out there.
Yeah. Something.
Okay. Yeah.
And it will, you need to add this.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
okay. We'll try to get
Yeah.
through this first. Top app bar. Now it's working fine.
Okay.
Title, which is going to have text. Text text. Okay. And you
Yeah.
can also have a color, how to color it and all.
We
Like
can
you
attach
can do
some
something.
modifiers on
Yeah.
that things.
Yes. So what happens is this scaffold, okay. So it gives the inner components to the content padding values. So what is that padding values is now I only used top app bar. Okay. So now the entire view port, okay, visibility, only top app bar is used. Rest are free.
Free.
Okay. But if I use top app bar and side navigation, then you need to pad the content in a certain position. Otherwise,
Oh,
things will start overlapping.
okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
based on how much components you're trying to use, you don't want your content to overlap.
Okay.
So that calculation the scaffold will do and give it here to the
Oh,
content. So within
okay.
the content, we can use it within the modifier.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So we are going to use a pet list, right? We just
Yeah.
content will have pet list. Okay.
Listed.
Pet list and that modifier we need to like pass the modifier, which is going to be, we are controlling the modifier of the pet list. Okay. Dot fill, I'm saying you fill max width.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And wait, padding is padding values.
Values.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll just format it a bit. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So we are passing a modifier which
So
should fill max width.
what was the shortcut to format it?
Control Alt L.
Control Alt L. Okay.
Yes, yes. Today morning only I checked.
Okay.
Okay. So that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now there is no programming error, which is such a miracle. So now we can run the program and see in all its glory
How it
how it
looks.
looks like.
Okay.
column modifier. This is basically dictating the lazy column modifier. And
Okay.
earlier we wrote the modifier for the row.
Yeah.
The row has fill max width. Here this is having fill max width. Yeah. You can check the get list. Right. And this is the modifier.
Okay.
Right. It gets passed
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
argument.
So,
Go back to main activity. We can see terminal. Okay.
so the one that you opened is an emulator, right? It's
Yeah,
running emulator. Okay.
emulator only. Yeah.
Okay.
It's, it is going on. First time it's starting,
Ex-
right? So
Yeah, it takes some time.
there are
Like,
few concepts in Android. Okay, for example, view model. Okay, something you need to know. Then there are concepts like mutable state flow, mutable live data. So those concepts also we will learn next time, because using those are state aware objects. Okay, like a
okay.
composable are observing these state aware objects. When something changes, it will recompose.
Recompose. Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we need to learn that next time. But view model is, will you take advantage of that mutable state and all, so that when something changes,
Hola.
so
We got
voila.
it.
So you
Great.
can see, yeah,
Have a
space
title
between, yeah,
namespaces.
yeah, pets is here, and you can like really decorate the header with the different colors.
Different
Again, like
colors.
chemistry, you need to by heart few lines and
Yeah.
write it like that, but there's no other way to do that. But okay,
Okay.
yeah. So this is it.
That was that was great. Yeah. Yep.
So that's today's topic.
Okay. That
Yeah.
was actually fantastic, Arun. So I didn't
Okay.
know anything about Jetpack Compose before.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Now at least I know how to create such a list and how to create such objects and all. I'm getting familiar with the stuffs here.
So me too. I'm also.
I can able to create some small apps now with the Jetpack
Yes.
Compose.
Yes. I think you like the language also.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably.
Because it is similar to Swift. Yeah,
Yeah.
we not have any difficulty learning that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure, sure, sure. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for sharing this. We'll have further more sessions on this in
Yes.
coming weeks. And
Yes.
thank you.
Yes. Welcome. Thank you, Selva, for the opportunity you gave me. So, yes,
Yeah,
thanks. Yeah. Okay.
happy to. Thank you. Thank you, Arun.